All right, JoshCast with Chris Soriano returning for the third time, and a special guest, John.
Hey, what's going on?
He's a new comic on the scene, if you want to call it that, right? That's
definitely,
what kids
definitely.
say.
How long you been in the game, John?
I just finished a stand-up 101 show at Philly Improv Theater, so I'm very, very new. But I done improv and sketch and that sort of stuff. But I'm very new to stand-up.
That's cool. And it's right across from the Helium Comedy Club, is that right?
It is. I saw Dana Gould last week, and then my instructor opened up for him. So it was a nice
That's pretty
show.
damn cool.
Was this your first mic tonight?
No, I've seen it before. Well, sorry, I spoiled that. Yes, it was.
It's my second. So yeah, I've been around for a hot second.
Cause I was watching your set. I was like, you have me going, and then you're out. Like, why was it a minute?
Because I wrote like, let's say 5 jokes, but then I was like trying to remember them all, and I was like, okay, I can remember like 3 of the 5. Mm-hmm. And then once I got those 3, I was like, should I keep going? But I was like, no, and I second guessed myself, and then I was like, you know what, I'll just time.
Yeah, that happened. Well, listen, I mean, what I do is I just, you title your jokes, you just go in the notebook and read it.
It was, I wrote them on my phone.
Yeah.
At home, and then when I got here, I transcribed them into my notebook to try to muscle memory, write so I can remember. So that was sort of what I did tonight, but I just have a long list of stuff on my phone.
Hey, it's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to do 5 minutes as the goal. Really, you can do whatever you want. So pretty much, Chris is a paranoid guy. For those of you listening to the show, he's very paranoid. Now, here's the thing. What I want to say is his name was not dropped, even though the post is about him. There's a post going on in a certain group. Can we say the name of the group? But you don't even want that on, because I don't think anybody is going to be listening to this.
No.
Wow, he's that paranoid.
No, I'm that mentally fucked up.
Okay.
I had to take 2 weeks off comedy for this.
Well, I thought you were traveling, too. When you did you go to Boston?
Well, yeah, that was for work, but I mean, I'm mentally fucked up. Like, I really had to take 2 weeks off comedy for this. I mean, this Me Too movement is completely off the rails.
Wow,
it really is. I'm getting Me Too.
Wow.
I got Me Too twice. I got Me Too at my last job. I got Me Too at comedy. They're trying to take everything away from me.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. You make too much money, man. That's what it is. If you worked in a sweatshop like a regular agent, they wouldn't care. But
it's an impressive Jeff cap. They want it back.
That would be depressing, though.
So what I was sorry to cut you off. I just want to say that, okay, let's not say the name of the group. There's certain groups on Facebook where it's supposed to be to promote open mics, showcases, but in certain groups, they post politics, which I don't think should be in a group, but that's just which is why I'm not involved with the city, and I try not to go down there. But they talk about politics, and a certain group did not mention your name, but they talked about, it was a female comic. And female comics in the city are all feminists, and she said pretty much, she gave a bunch of roles for gentlemen in comedy. She said pretty much something like, can we read the post? Can we at least do that? Can you at least give me that? You're not going to say the name of the person? Can at least, because I want to read the superhero thing she said about female comics are superheroes.
Badass superheroes. Give them respect.
Yes, give them, because you see, female comics, most of them are whores. Well, I think so. Most of them have sex with other comics to usually get to the next level.
It's basically like
that makes them.
Well, a lot of people do have sex with coworkers in every business.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
but I feel like they do it. Some of them do it for the next level. But what they're trying to say is you should give a woman more respect for doing comedy, because there's not that many. Like there was only one female tonight, which is debatable. I know her. I'm kidding. But it's like only one female tonight, and usually most open mics are 20, 30 guys to one chick. Or
are you saying there's one female because you're not sure that's a woman, or do you think there's another woman here?
Well, there was a woman here tonight. It was confirmed, but I'm saying that.
So you've had sex with her?
No, I haven't had sex with her.
So it has not been confirmed.
That's not going to be confirmed. So here's the post. Chris gave me the thumbs up. Comedy lessons for straight dudes. Okay. Volunteering is great unless you're volunteering to whip your dick out. Don't ever do that, straight dude. So I wonder if that's a joke. So I guess when she says volunteering, I guess that means at good comedy theater, they have a program where you can volunteer.
Or at the Philly Improv Theater, which is I volunteered there.
That's where she could be from. And I guess a guy was volunteering and he pulled his wang out, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, a female comic doesn't laugh at that, I think is not really a female comic.
Or did that actually happen, or are they just trying to use that as an example?
If she put it as a role
that a person could do within the
I guess so. She put it as a role. It's rule number 1, so I guess somebody must have done it.
It has to be true.
It has to be true if it's rule number 1. Right. Number 2, female comedians are badass superheroes. And I know all you nerds respect superheroes. So if I'm not a nerd, I shouldn't, which I'm not, I should get a pass not to respect superheroes, which means I not to respect superheroes, which means I shouldn't respect female comics, right? Because I'm not a.
Well, there's a lot to unpack with that. First and foremost, most people are not superheroes.
Yes.
Telling jokes is challenging.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's super heroic.
No, it's not.
Being a female is challenging. Don't know if that's super heroic. But I will say that it was very, very challenging for female comedians within the world. But then you have Phyllis Dillard, and you have Carol Burnett, and you have Lucille Ball, and you have women that killed it.
Yeah, well, those women made it easier.
So now it's not that time.
Yeah, Joan Rivers. You have all these female comics that made a name. Now, she pretty much the rest of the quote is, "So respect us too. Give us your respect, straight dudes." So gay guys, I guess, are nice. No gay guys.
Is there a running theme where it's only against straight men?
She should just say straight white dudes, but
I didn't want to say that. As the token white man in the room, I didn't want to say that.
Yeah. Traditionally, there's this thing among men and just fellow, people who enjoy comedy, just comedy nerd. Well, yeah, that's what you're saying, right? Men are comedy nerds, but that's the thing is that there's this whole fairy tale is that women aren't funny in comedy.
Yeah.
I think they are. Right now in my DVD player is Roseanne Barr, Blonde and Bitchin'. I mean, she was a savage that.
Well, you're bringing up somebody who had a real craft and somebody who was a real comic. The female comics today, based on what I've seen, I can't say none of them are funny, but a lot of them talk about politics. Like the stuff that we're talking about now, they talk about it on stage. They don't make it funny, though. That's the thing. But,
yeah.
Well, I think Norm said that nowadays it's creating a lot of shitty comedians because everybody's just making political jokes and getting easy laughs.
Well, that's what they're saying at New York comedy, especially. A bunch of comedians who do up, they're talking about Trump, but they're not making it funny. Right. And all the females are feminists, and it's kind of weird because if you're a feminist, getting in a stand, you're going to be around guys all the time. Like I said, 30 guys. I mean, it's
right. But are those guy guys, or are those?
Well, they're comics.
Beta male.
Most of them are comics.
You're
going to have all different kinds. You're going to have some of them are beta males who they're like white knight you. You know what I mean? Like if I got into an argument with a female comic, which happened to me once on Facebook before. There's no such thing as this comedy scene is just letting two people argue. They have to pick a side, and they're automatically they're going to. That female comic has way more value than me, especially if they're in the city. They're going to take their side and go, "Well, Jackaboo, what do you know?" And,
I'm getting butchered.
One of the guys who started out in this room.
You're, if I may, you are an Asian man? I don't want to assume your gender or your nationality.
I'm Filipino, yes.
You're a Filipino man.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
you need to have a lot more value on the hierarchy than they're giving you right now.
And I work in IT. In other sets, I actually say my salary. It's a 6-figure job. She's a nanny.
But you can't punch down on her, both literally and verbally.
I can't. And I have to be victim of Disclosure. You ever seen that movie, Disclosure?
Yes. Demi Moore, right?
Yes.
Demi Moore, you've probably seen it as your kid. You probably beat off to not realize. Demi Moore straddles Michael Douglas, and she's married, and he's like, no, and she's using her pussy, and then he almost cheats on her, his wife, and then he runs out of the room, and then she tries to sue him of harassment, but he had audio of her leaving messages. And
when was this?
Disclosure's a movie with Demi Moore.
No, when was this?
It came out when I was a kid.
Came out in the 90s.
No, this sounds like a 2018 movie.
But this is very relevant now.
Movie.
This sounds like a 2018
This came out in the 90s, but it's very relevant now. Basically, how many men would come forward if they got raped by a woman?
Not many.
Right?
Yeah. But that's the thing is, let's get to number 3. If you find a badass superhero attractive. Now, she uses the term badass. Now she's going to use it for the rest of the thread. This is just annoying. If you find a badass superhero attractive and want to approach that badass superhero, do it in person in a classy way or not at all. Something like, "I like to take you out sometime" is acceptable. Try it out, straight dudes. Now, here's the problem with that. the problem with this whole how you ask women, I think, is important too. Because if you say, "Hey, would you like to hang out sometime?" that same woman might think you want to be her friend, right? So let's say you take a chick out for some drinks. She thinks you want to be her friend, and then you get a little buzz. You try to kiss her. That same woman can go, "Whoa, what are you doing? I thought we were friends." And maybe not me to you, but get really uncomfortable. And I don't think we'll just say.
Well, that's why as soon as you meet, if you got to be like, do you like me? Do you not like me? And just take the puss. If you don't, if she doesn't give up the puss, walk away. You're never going to be friends.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. Now maybe I'm the only one that thinks that.
So
I'm completely petrified right now.
I'm joking.
So the reason why this applies to Chris is because, and I can say why, right? We already explained this is about you, so I can say why, right? This is why this applies to you, right?
Go ahead.
Okay, this applies to Chris because he said to a woman, he says this in his act, so I'm not telling any dirty secrets, so don't get mad at me later. Go, why'd you say that? He said to another open mic female comic, I'm sorry, badass superhero. I don't want to offend any listeners out here. He said
I was triggered.
Yeah, he said, you're beautiful. Which I would never say to a female comic because they're mentally damaged. I would say something like, hey, you're fucked up or something. Want to try anal? Right? They would like that. But he said, you're beautiful. And she said, thanks, man. She's probably a little uncomfortable. She said, thanks, man. And he does that bit on stage. And I guess he did it in some places where there's cucks, as you mentioned, and white knights. And they were goofing on him afterwards. And then it probably got back to her. And then now she decided to make this thread.
They didn't just goof on me.
They roasted you, right?
They quote unquote said they were busting my balls.
Right.
And
but it was for hours. You said this was for 3 hours, didn't you? It was after the open mic. You said from 11 to 2, so that's 3 hours.
Yeah, they had a feast on me, and it's like
this was live or online or both.
This was after a show,
after
an open mic. Yeah. They said, "Oh, we're just busting your balls," but I was like, "This is brutal." I mean, basically, it's that, to borrow your term, it's like the Captain Save-A-Ho, the White Knights. All of them were coming at me. It's almost as if like all of them were admin assistant for her. They were all admin assistants for her. Yeah. Basically, she just dropped a dime, and then all of them were like, "Oh yeah, we got to be politically correct now. You're right. We take your side." Yeah. Goes back to the angle that we were talking about. You either pick side A or B.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that those type of comics are trying to fit in with the city. When you're in the city, you have to adjust your act to that atmosphere. You know what I mean? So not only that, but you actually adjust your attitude too. So if you go down there, you have to be like, look, I'm a good comedy theater. We were talking about this before the show. Banned the comic because he did a conservative network. And they're like, if you're do some sort of racist network or you're a part of something like that, that means that means almost like you're a Nazi. We don't want your business or something. We don't want you to perform here. It's that you have to be that kind of side, and if not, you're sexist, you're racist.
I don't want to assume anybody's gender or ethnicity. I heard this person is of an African descent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
I mean, there's people of African descent that have all different views, but would you believe that this person of African descent may be a Nazi or maybe not?
I would say it is possible he's a black Nazi based on what I've seen. I've seen him posing with white guys with a Hitler mustache. I don't know if that's a goof or if that's really him trying to be funny. But either way, it's weird that good comedy theater would do that because they're all about we promote black people. They don't say blacks. We promote females and we promote minorities.
People of color.
Yeah, they say minorities as well.
Oh, do they?
Okay, you're probably right though.
The buzzwords.
People of color, minorities, same thing. We as far as we want you to feel comfortable here. This is a place where people of color and females. We want you to feel comfortable here. This is like other places, which I've never been. I've been doing open mic comedy for 9 years in this city, all over. Now that's impressive in the sense that I failed and I'm still here. But God damn it, 9 years I've never seen anybody go, "Oh, we got a lot of fucking blacks in here. It's a lot of black performers. Take the chicken wings off the menu," or anything like that. It's like that's not happened, and that hasn't happened.
Have you seen a black comic at Helium?
Yeah.
The place just smells like fried. I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but honestly, I've seen black comics there, and it's just like Lavelle Crawford. Like I've seen these black comics there, and it's just it's constant mist and smoke that's pouring into the showroom.
Yeah. But I've never heard anybody say we need more white guys on stage. I never heard that in my 9 years. So it's like whoever shows up to perform, that's who's there. Is this locked? I don't know. So let's finish the quote. There's the 3 rules she gave And now this is the end. She writes a little note at the end to wrap this great post up, and it's the best way I've seen it described here is, don't say anything to a woman that you wouldn't want a man to say to you in prison.
I think is that homophobic, or am I misunderstanding?
It might be, because she's assuming that man was automatically a faggot. There are guys who are married and don't do anything. Okay, you think you wouldn't have to say these things in the era of the Me Too movement and everything else that's happened, but some of you still need a friendly reminder. So that's the end of the.
That's friendly.
Yeah, pretty much. And poor Chris over here. You know, she just say his name is having nightmares about this.
Obviously, my bits have gotten to her because she's regurgitating some of that in her public service announcement.
But I think it's happened to her probably another time. You said she's beautiful. Is she really beautiful, or are you just trying to get in her pants?
So can I clear the air? I'm gonna clear the air.
Oh yeah, okay, if it was up to me, I would have you guys just drop names all day. No one's gonna listen to this.
In the bit, I say it like I went up to her and said, "You're beautiful." It was actually virtually.
What was that? Okay.
It was on Facebook chat.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't it was like...
I feel like that's even innocent more, because that person...
It was in passing, too.
Yeah.
So it was like we were discussing or whatever, and then I slipped it in there.
Okay.
You're beautiful, you're cool, you're funny.
She was beautiful?
Or beautiful. The reality is she's not a very good comic. Like,
okay, but I'm saying, is she actually beautiful to you? Or you're just saying that?
Well, we had the first time.
Not as a person. I'm talking about like, is she hot though? Like, you think she's hot?
Yeah, because the first time I met her, we had a deep discussion. Like we had and I felt like we had some sort of connection. Like we had a very deep conversation with some substance in it. Then I found out your true colors.
When you say substance, you mean?
Let's
not joke about this.
You know what I mean?
On a time like this.
I thought you looked like Cosby. With that hat.
The Filipino guy.
Here it goes.
Try the pudding pops, baby. So beautiful.
Oh.
I'm not a bad guy.
No, you're not.
But in this era,
when's the last time you heard of an Asian guy ever raping an Asian one besides in Japan? I mean, I heard in Japan, the guys there, they're really sexually depressed. So what they do is they go on subways and rub their penis on girls' butts. But that's in Japan.
That's America, though, too.
Yeah, that's in Japan.
Do you know what it's called? Here's a fun fact.
What is it called?
It's called frottage. It is a fetish where you are getting off on rubbing your genitals upon an unsuspecting person.
Oh.
You're getting off on the fact that they don't know their balls are touching you.
When's the last time you saw an Asian guy get mad because they were called Chinese and they were actually Japanese?
Yeah, I never seen it.
You know what I mean?
There was one time I was on a
You can't understand what they're saying, though.
But that's what if you were to pull that stunt with like a Latino, they would get pissed off on shit. Yeah. They just would. But the thing is that I think, just to go back to our last episode, that is, Asians, I think, have indeed picked a side already, and that's white people.
Yeah.
Because they won't really fight back.
Yeah.
Like white people don't fight back. And they're the victim for all sorts of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so once again,
do you think it's because you're, if I may,
no,
do you think it's because you're Asian, or do you think it's just you were the first person that they were able to pull this on? Do you think they
pull what on?
You running your name through the mud is what it sounds like?
Oh. They didn't say his name, but he knows the post is about it.
Right, so do you think it's because of your race, or do you think it's just you were an easy target?
I don't think it was because of my race. I think it's partially because of what I just said. It was like, okay, he's Asian, so he's obedient. He's gonna go. We're gonna drag his name in the mud, and he's not gonna fight back. He's not gonna say anything.
Yeah, but also that whole group I heard. Well, I was just gonna say it. Thank God I didn't. They talk about sexual assault in there a lot. I heard because your friend Cody, right? No. He wasn't accused of anything.
Okay.
He said that he did this bit on stage. Like I say, I remember at open mic. He said that he was promoting his Flying W open mic in there, right? And he made a slight joke, and he said, "We don't promote sexual assault here. Don't make jokes like that." But he didn't say anything like, "Hey, everybody, come out and get raped."
Oh
he said something like, "Hey, everybody, come on out and talk about." You know, people make jokes on Facebook like, "Come out to my open mic tonight. Talk about poop." He said something like, "Talk about creepy guys." And they said, "Hey, don't promote that here in the group." And he wasn't promoting it. He was just saying, goofing on his open mic. But he said that in his own act. But that group I heard, they dropped guys' names before. Like, and actually, if they did something, like I'll tell you, the guy, I think he's in New York now, or he moved. He mouth raped a couple girls. Like, he got them drunk and he like kissed them and stuff. And another guy, I think
that's called mouth rape.
Well, I guess if a girl's too drunk and she can't like defend herself,
I would think mouth rape.
Mouse rape.
Not mouse
Who
rape.
the fuck would you can't rape a mouse? They're too fast unless they're dead.
Mouth rape would be some sort of skull fucking situation, not kissing.
Yeah,
I don't see how kissing.
I rarely heard that term.
Rape is a pretty strong word.
And mouth rape is when you rape them with their mouth. Like, they're like, no, stop. You're like,
now, you rape with your dick and you put your dick in their mouth. That's mouth rape.
Now you're just getting dirty. Now, so pretty much, and then another guy told this girl, it was a different guy. His last name, by the way, I'm going to say it because it's already out there. It's gross.
Ew.
Which means that it matches the name. But he pretty much told a woman something like, hey, if you don't make out with me, I'm not going to drop you off at the train station. You're going to be stuck out here all night.
Well, that's her fault for not having a car.
That's true. I blame the woman sometimes, too, in these situations. But anyways, so their names were dropped. And like, yeah. But that's what that group is about. It doesn't seem like it's about... The main part of that group is not about promoting shows with open mics. It seems like, let's call guys out. Wait, straight guys out.
What group is this?
You told me not to say the name.
The network?
You want me to say the name?
The network.
You almost said it. Say it. You just said it.
No, I'm not going to say it.
You just said the first letter. He just said it, didn't he? He technically said it. It's like if I said, hey,
the Extreme Bondage Network.
I'll see the acronym.
No. PCN. So we already know what it is. But it's like saying, hey, excuse me, miss, who raped you? Bill Cosby. I'm not going to say it.
It's your fault for being on the politically correct network.
There you go. That's what it should be called.
Here's my thing. The PCN, they're a bunch of fucking a group of overgrown babies.
Yeah.
There, I said it.
But there are feminist comments, and we talked about this earlier at text, that they don't have any jokes, like I said. Their whole Facebook, they used to add me. They added me years ago, back when I used to accept. It's all about just calling out guys for what they call like bad male behavior.
Yeah.
But there's no jokes. It's not like, hey, everybody. That's their whole Facebook. I mean, if I had Facebook, I did all sorts of things on it. I would do jokes. I would, that seems like that's what young comics do. They talk about Trump. And it's Trump's a Nazi. They talk about bad behavior.
That's what she's doing.
That's what they do in the city.
Well, this is a much better conversation, but I think a lot of that has to do with the comedic influences of today, including like what used to be the Colbert Report, the Daily Show, Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, all the Tonight shows. Yeah,
bias. Jimmy Kimmel.
But I don't think most young comics watch Tonight shows.
What?
Very few
I thought the Daily Show closed basically after Jon Stewart left, but Trevor Noah's there, and John Oliver has a very clear.
Yeah.
I've watched many videos where people debunk his stuff, but he has a very.
It's still though, they got to be careful.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess just to go back that DVD, like Roseanne Barr, Blonde Bitchin', if you you watch that, it's like it's ahead of its time because like one of her first, like her opening bit is like everybody's turning gay. Can you imagine if any comic said that now? Holy shit.
She's a female.
But still, though.
So a big one. You just got to say everybody's going trans.
Everything, like...
I'm pretty sure a good part of her audience probably is gay, though.
But just like live... Like, timing is everything in life. And that's the thing. We live in a very sensitive time now.
Yeah. It's the worst time to do...
Very sensitive. So that's what I was telling, like, my friends. I was like, this may be my very well, like, last set. Because that's the thing is that I had a discussion with them. It's like comedy's pretty like since we have to be so politically correct, like comedy's pretty much dying or dead.
Well, the
right?
thing is, it's
like,
it seems like it's dying. The spirit, I would say, is dying, not the actual. Because it's not like Healing Comedy Club can't sell tickets if Mark Norman's performing or Bill Burr's at a theater. It's not dying. It's just the art form is dying as far as. It's supposed to be a freedom of speech, as I said before, art form. Not to say you should go up there and do what Kramer did, which, like I said, that's one of my favorite sets of all time. Just based on his delivery. I'm sorry, it is. But I'm saying, and plus it's the guy from Seinfeld, so like, this is hilarious. But I'm saying that because it's supposed to be...
His cadence was perfect.
Because it's a freedom of speech art form, and then, you say something, then afterwards... Like, the thing is, you're not banned from any open mic. just like me, I'm not banned from any Center City open mic. I just feel uncomfortable going there
Right.
because I know that they're going to, not to say give me dirty looks, but one of the females are in that group we just so-called didn't mention. She would say things about me, but not say my name. She'd go, oh, this comic went up there tonight and did a rape joke. I'm so tired of guys doing a rape. And it's like, I don't write I rarely write blogs about other comedians' shit. You know what I mean? Like it's like, worry about your own set. But that's what she does. It's all about males.
So she struck you. I just got striked.
Well,
like, this is what's happening.
Yeah, but it's been happening for years, though. It's
Yeah.
not just happening now. You think it's just happening now. This has been happening for years. Ever since... And Helium's changed, too. Like I said, Helium used to put on more edgier comics. They're more selective who they put on. That's why you said they got that, what's it called? Writer's block now, so they can pre-select your jokes. Like you think it's the Tonight Show.
I heard about that.
It's almost like the Tonight Show. Like, hey, tell me one of your jokes tonight. You did a joke tonight about bloody shit or something. And they might go, ooh, I don't know if you should say that. Maybe you should say that you weren't feeling well or something. Or maybe they wouldn't say that. Maybe they would say, I want to do that here or something.
So Writer's Block is like the pre-screen.
Well, that's what you told me.
I did?
Yeah.
No,
you told me
this
that.
Is new to me.
I think on the first podcast we did. Now I'm just making things up.
I don't know who to believe. I'm very new to this.
This is just politics.
Well, you should believe me because I don't smoke weed out of an apple like he does.
You will never get over that.
No, I think it's funny.
He's like,
I think it's funny that he smoked weed once out of an apple because what happened was after this other comic who we had on the podcast, we're in a car and they're smoking out of an apple.
Yeah,
I said, let's moon people as a joke. He said, no, man, that's illegal. I was like, you're smoking weed out of an apple. That's not illegal. It's so funny to say. You can be smoking crack out of a plum. Wait, you want to moon people?
Called girls pretty.
I come into his car and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm out of wraps. And I'm like, well, I have an apple in my car. We can use that. And he's like, all right. So he fixes it up.
But I think it's funny. People smoking out of fruits. That's what a fruity generation we are. These kids are so fruity, they're smoking out of fruits.
Man, I first learned about smoking out of an apple in middle school, though. This has been going around for a long time.
I know. I'm pretty sure no one invented it. Everything's been done, it seems, with weed. I mean, I'm never amazed what you kids do. Now, let's talk about, like I said, you told me. You said Writer's Block. You asked somebody at Helium, how do I get on? And you told me, they said, go to Writer's Block and then tell them your jokes. That's what you told me.
I don't remember telling you.
You told me that.
Because this is when you projected this just now, it was news to me.
Oh, well, I'm telling you. I got no reason to lie, sir.
Anyways, there's I won't not say this person's name. He's big in the city.
Oh, man.
And I saw him and somebody else who's kind of big in the city. They were both walking. After the Helium open mic, they were walking out of the club.
He's referring to unit size, by the way.
And he sees me.
All right.
And he sees me, and he's like, "Were you waiting for us?" I'm like, thinking in my head, I'm like, "Get over yourself."
I would have said, "Oh yeah, open mic comic. Can I have your autograph, please? Hey, can I hold your bags at the Raven Lounge?"
Walk across the street to the Improv Theater. Have you guys done a lot of stuff at the Improv Theater?
I never done anything, but I was standing outside of there once.
It's a very collectivist mindset.
What kind of vibe is there?
And I saw a bunch of improv comics.
It's very much like improv mindset. So everybody's got your back. Everybody is very. I'm trying to find it. Just the movie Bubble Boy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of bright and shinies. That's the best way for me to describe it. It's a lot of
bright and shinies.
Do you remember that in Bubble Boy?
Yeah. I remember the movie. I don't remember
the cult that was on.
The cult. Okay. See, I don't remember the name.
What's your vibe with the stand-up comedians in the Philadelphia scene?
What's my vibe?
Yeah.
I mean, I volunteered at the Improv Theater they had a
so he's the guy that pulled his dick out. He was volunteering.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard her.
I told him I was Asian and he believed me.
Yeah. See, he was
Come on, they're badass superheroes.
Yeah. He was black, they would have blinked twice.
Then they should use their X-ray vision, or they should use their super speed, or their lasso of truth to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Yes.
Anyway. But yeah, they had a stand-up showcase every Monday with Mecky Lepper, who's now like a big shot in LA.
He made it.
Yeah, I saw him in a documentary.
It's on Comedy Central.
I saw him in a documentary about the Just for Laughs festival.
Yeah.
Because he was a fresh face.
He's made it.
I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And then Shane
Gillis?
Yeah. I saw him on podcast with Big J. Okerson.
Yeah,
I was
Bonfire.
Like, you son of a fucking
The
bitch.
Bonfire.
Yeah. I was there. He had a scare or something like that when he was on Mecky's show. He was in the back. Somebody like said something about him on the PCN, and then he was trying to figure out how to negotiate that and work that out.
Was it a sexual assault claim?
I don't remember what. Like he made like a joke about women.
Oh yeah, well, he's an edgy comic. I mean, he's not super edgy, but he's edgy enough. But
Who's edgy?
Shane.
That was my first introduction to Philly comedy stand-up scene.
He's clean enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he's edgy. I'm not saying edgy. Like offensive and edgy are two different things. I'm offensive. He's edgy. I mean, like he does like he has a joke about his girlfriend being like a 5 or something. Like that's edgy. That's not like mean. To me, that's not even edgy actually. But to them, that's edgy. Like whoa. But they think it's anyways. Enough about Shane Gillis, who would never do my podcast. He's too big now. He's a camper now. The Bonfire, crackle, crackle. I like that show. But yeah, but once again, nobody said your name, but you think in your head that everybody's bringing up your name. What's his name? It's Chris Soriano.
The last open mic I went to before this was 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. It was at the W.
The W.
I'll say the venue.
Say it.
And I said, I don't, I'm just worried about being like dirt on my name. And then one of the people there goes, "You don't think there's dirt on your name already?"
Oh. Yeah.
And I saw that person the very next day at Andalusia Bar.
Oh.
Who apologized.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, listen, I want to say two things. One, if you're kind of like would you admit you're kind of a ghetto Asian guy? You say your dad's kind of ghetto, right?
That's where I got it from. My dad is from like the slums of the Philippines.
Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because you wouldn't even talk to me. If you were just a regular Asian guy who wanted to be white, you wouldn't even talk to me because you're ghetto. You talk to me. That's not a bad thing. But that's what I'm saying. Like I thought about you. I was like, because I'm not fully white, and Asians don't like me because I'm not fully white and only half. But because you're a ghetto Asian guy, that's why you talk to me.
What are you?
Half Cuban, half white.
What is the
Polish.
half white?
Polish.
That is white. Okay.
Yeah. No wait. What is the white? Guatemalan. Oh wait a minute.
Okay.
you're fully Hispanic.
No,
There were quite a bit of Latino
You're half
jokes.
Israeli, half Cuban.
Yeah, there you go.
There were quite a bit of Latino jokes tonight. How'd you feel about that?
Ooh. Oh, the guy. I
The
don't.
Latino jokes, all of them looked at you.
Oh, I don't care.
Every time after the
I like
punchline
when
was
people look at
delivered.
me. I like to embarrass myself. So that's number one. And then I had another thing I was going to bring up about you, and I forgot. But as far as like no one's bringing up your name, but you think that's been passed around now. You think everyone knows who you are.
It's one of those things. You see in Wayne's World, it's like they tell two friends, then they tell two friends, then they tell two friends. It's like one of those things. Next thing you know, what was original the original idea, once it's been digested, it's like it's not how it comes out.
But see, I have more dirt on my name because I told you I called out one of the. He's not a big comic in the city, but he's friends with everybody. I called him out years ago on Facebook because I felt he did one of my jokes at another open mic. We went to the same 2 open mics in one night. We both had the same type of joke apparently, but I heard word for word. So I went on Facebook and said, comedians will steal your jokes. This guy, I was going to talk to him after the show, but he left. And I was like, fuck this guy. I was drunk. I had 2 beers. I'm just going to blast. I told you the story before. So so comics were trashing me once again. Like, oh, he only goes to cabaret. He's not real, that shit. And I have more dirt on my name for that. That's almost like worse. Not to say because you didn't really sexually assault anybody. And,
I didn't.
Yeah, but they're not saying you did. But nobody said your name though. And only very few people know. Trust me.
I didn't hit anybody. I didn't fuck anything.
I feel like this is 60 minutes.
And I'm like
I'm really getting into this soul right now.
I didn't slip any roofies or quaaludes in a drink.
Relax, Chris. Relax.
I want to see this good. I want to see this anger.
Yeah.
No, but like this is fact.
But see, he smokes too, and I feel like that helps.
It's like I'm being framed.
If you didn't smoke as much, I guarantee you wouldn't care that much. You would care a little bit.
I smoke to keep sane.
Yeah, but you would be more insane.
Because that's the thing. When music, and you smoke tree with that, you don't feel any pain. Yeah. There's no pain there. See, this is pain.
We should try heroin.
Fuck no.
It's more effective at getting rid of the pain. Literally.
So that's the thing. Just to go back. So my dad, I got my ghetto-ness from my dad.
Yeah.
But then my mom has her head on straight. So like that's where you hear those things about.
No, I don't care.
He has that IT job, all that stuff.
I'm just saying that like Asians. I never had an Asian friend my whole life because they probably thought of me as like not fully white. You know, I don't give them the white status. I call it. You know,
I'm still trying to find like the whiteness in you.
I know.
I mean, I've known you. I have this relationship with you now, like friendship.
I lied. I'm
it's like I'm trying to find it. I'm like, what's the whiteness that's coming from Josh? Half it's there, but
sure you're not Jewish. Your name is Josh.
Yeah, I get that.
And you have that like
I get that
facial
before.
hair.
In the summer, I get
and
tan.
you have a black button down with the collar popped. All you need is some change. And that's Persian.
No, I get everything. I get everything. Some people think I'm part black. Some people think I'm Arabic. Some people think I'm Jewish. Because my hair's like this, and my skin goes to white after summer, and people think I'm Jewish.
I can see Jewish
I see a lot of Jewish.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Which is bad. Which is good for show business, but bad for socializing, what I call it. Not good.
Really? Well, explain.
Well, you know, they say Jews run the media and show business. You ever hear that old joke? Apparently he doesn't watch comedy, this guy.
No,
Well, you know, that's what they say. And then, you know, for socializing, many people don't like Jews. Not everybody, some people.
One of my best friends is Jewish, and I told him that I did my first open mic. I was so excited. I told him, I was like...
Jabal is Jewish?
Actually, I think he is, too.
I thought he was like Sicilian.
He's like Lithuanian.
I thought he was
Jew.
Sicilian. That's why he had that big mule in his pants.
Yeah, but anyways, long story short, I told one of my best friends Jewish. I said, "Hey, I'm excited. I really did my first open mic." Yeah. And then and later on in the discussion, I made him laugh. And then he goes, "Huh? You really are funny. You really do got a future in this business."
If that comes,
was that a Woody Allen? That was a Woody Allen impression right there.
If that comes from a Jew,
you really were funny.
That's him. That's my friend telling me this.
So that means you're going to make it. If a Jew tells you that, you got something. I can see myself making money off you someday. I mean, you know, a Filipino guy.
Oh my God!
Who kind of talks black. He goes up there. He gets me too. I can see this in a one-way show. Let me bang my Asian stepdaughter real quick. So yes, I feel like your name's not really. No one said it, and I feel like some people know, but it's not like you're not welcome.
It's not huge. It's not huge.
Yeah, and it's like, once again, I don't blame you for being paranoid a little bit, but it's not like, I don't think you're going to walk to an open mic unless maybe she's there and her friends there and she told them maybe. But
but that's what she... And
I'm pretty sure she told her close friends, but it depends how many close friends does she have.
And I go to South Jersey Mike exclusively.
That's what
she's always there.
So she's not from Good Comedy? I thought she was from Good.
So in the set, I say Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I feel like only a few people know, and I feel like that may suck, but it's not like you burned the real bridge. Like
that's fine.
Like you know, like you can't go anywhere. It's just a matter of how you take it, I guess. But that's just coming from.
Well,
me.
I'm taking notes from you.
Because,
because this is not
from one piece of shit to another. I mean. Listen, you said it yourself. I'm a comedy outlaw, and I don't know if you want to. That's why I hide out in this place.
I'm just trying to take notes from Josh. How's it done? I still see your name in Philly's Funniest.
Yeah, that was from 2 years ago.
Still though, it's on the internet. Somehow I stumbled upon it.
Yeah, I bombed so bad that night. I didn't put the set up. I have the video of it. I got silenced for 4 minutes. You're supposed to do 4.5 to get to qualify. I did 4:15. I knew I had 15 seconds left. I just walked off. I got nothing.
They told you the house rules in the green room, right?
No, it's on the website too. I knew it. I just
what were the comedy rules you were telling somebody before we started recording?
Oh, that's what he said. He said the 2 comic rule, meaning like it's not exactly what's a courtesy.
I couldn't hear what they said.
It's courtesy, meaning like let's say I'm number 8 on the list, and I go up and I just leave right after my set. You could do that. There's no law to stay, but it's just kind of shitty to some comics.
It's very
like, oh, he just walked in and he left. He's too good for the room. So wait at least 2 comics and then walk out. But see, there's no law too. It's like you do whatever you want. I've seen plenty in the city. People just drop in and just leave right after their set. You know, so it's like
I don't like that personally.
I don't like it either. But it's like it's just courtesy. You can't expect.
It's courtesy.
It's just like in general of living on planet Earth. Most people don't have courtesy anymore. So
it's like you're supporting the circuit.
I hold the door open for this guy. He didn't say thank you. Hey pal, I'm gonna teach you about courtesy. You tell me to go fuck myself, and I say okay, fine. I don't want to fight you, and I go home. Right. I mean, what am I going to argue with you all night? Hey, you didn't say thank you. All right. What?
The reason I was asking was because, like, today I came in and just sat at the bar and was, like, writing, and then came in, like, 2 before I went up, so I didn't know if that was, like, against the rule, like, you should be sitting in the room the whole time.
This one guy that I know, I told you, every time I bring up your name, you know, but you met him before. The older guy went to Andalusia with Goat, the middle-aged guy with the tattoos. Yes. So Ron Goatsmill used to come here. He was an obnoxious guy, and he was a Jew, by the way. I don't think that didn't do it, but he was very obnoxious. He was very obnoxious, and he would leave right after a set, and some comics didn't like him for that. He would always leave after a set, so he would sit there kind of with his arms folded, which is fine, and then he would just leave. But I told him, I said, I don't think anybody should hate you for that, though. Like, maybe it's not cursing. Hey, I watched him. It's like, there's no law once again. It's just, you would like people to stay for you, but, people walk out, they walk out. I don't know. That's what I feel, but it's like, I try to take it personal. I go, who cares? It's like, but sometimes what I do is, I do what people do to me. So if somebody walks out, and I can't, sometimes in the city I can tell who does. In the city especially, it's the same people. But if it's here, I'll just wait. I have to take a piss. I'll wait for them to go on stage, and I'll just go out and take a piss. And they hail the bar, just come back in. But I'm only one person, though. It's not like I'm going to sabotage. Like, I walked out of their set. They're going to bomb. It's like, I'm just one guy.
Just I noticed, just to go back, with the feminists in the city, they were all about that post. They hopped on.
Oh, of course. That's what they feed on, because one of them, the main feminist, she went to school for gender studies. So that's her whole reality is feeding off this. If every guy was proper, if every guy was, like, say, a gentleman, like they say, she wouldn't have anything to talk about.
I mean, what really is a gentleman nowadays?
Or if her frontal cortex fully developed, she wouldn't have anything to talk about because she had a fucking brain.
Yeah.
I mean, what really is a gentleman
But I'm saying
nowadays?
that if every guy didn't do the things she doesn't like of bad male behavior, she would have, what would she say? She would have nothing to talk about. No feminist would.
I mean, that's pretty gentleman, right? You're beautiful. And then she
I'm
just
not talking
automatically
about,
like a queen.
First of all you want to talk about is yourself. I can give two shits about you. You're a new comic. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who I am, but they really don't like me in the city. You're not like me, where there's comedians who I know for a fact that don't like me because I've been to open mics and they've not said nothing to me. But I can just tell, like, they're friends. And that's the thing I hate about this comedy. You can make up anything about anybody. Like, hey, this guy John came back here last night. Like I said, he likes to rape kids. Oh, stay away from that.
Yeah, but
guy.
people know that.
I would want to be your friend, though.
People want to.
See, I would move closer and you go, really? Is that true? Can I be your friend? Other people go.
That's why I volunteer at the Improv Theater during the kid shows.
That's a good way to meet you.
The bathrooms don't lock.
And that's what I'm saying. But I feel like you can just make up anything about people, because just like the whole joke thing I just said about me. Okay, the way I did it was shitty. I called him out on Facebook. I should have said it to his face. However, it's between us two. Even though I made it public, you don't have to take a side. You can just enjoy it and go, wow, this is great. We didn't go back and forth. Their friends all jumped on me. But of course, because he has more value to me, he's a city comic. I'm here, this shit, They just, of course, comics even who start out in this room are like, oh, he doesn't go anywhere else but cabaret, like I said. And it's like, people have to pick a side. And I feel like you just make up stuff about people. Like, that's the guy that did this and that. It's like, they don't know me. Nobody down there actually knows me. And they don't know you either. Maybe a few Jersey comics know you because they smoked cocaine with you, which you told me before. You did coke one night. Okay, you didn't say
Was
that.
there an apple or not an apple? I feel like you have an apple with you.
There was a razor blade.
Was there a Coke plum?
No.
All right. But I want to talk about tonight. Let's talk about me, if you don't mind. This is all about you and your therapy. This is therapy for Chris.
How long is your podcast?
How long is it? Well, when I do it on my computer, it's I do it by myself. It's usually anywhere between 55 to an hour and 20. Is that long, you think?
By yourself?
Well, no, because here's the thing. Okay, so let me explain. You never listen. When I do it by myself, I record only... Wait a minute. Can I explain? I'm not just talking to myself for an hour. I do other things. You guys are judging me before I...
I'm not saying anything.
Hey, Josh, what do you think of that? Well, Josh, I think this. Josh, it's fascinating.
That's not what I do. But no, I do topical news like that. I do one segment, then I do a bunch of prank phone calls. Some of them are funny.
To yourself?
Yes, I call myself up. I put a prank phone call on. Then I do more topical news. I do public freakout commentary, which is people to go in stores and they yell at me. I do that. I do commentary on that. Then I go out. I get drunk on the Saturday in Old City. I do commentary of all the idiots in bars and try to get them on the show. And I talk about my night. And then if I have guests on, I mix that in, or other bits, or if I have a new song, and it usually goes from 55 to an hour and 20. And if I have a guest on. Like last couple times we did this, we usually go for like an hour and a half. We're at 45. But if you feel like it's too long, if you want to leave,
no, I'm cool.
Okay.
Cool. I didn't want to drone on.
Oh no, that's fine. But that's what I.
Cool.
But I wanted to say about my set tonight. this guy went on, and he's been here before, and you didn't see him because you were at the bar, John. But he did this bit, and pretty much it's he goes, "I'm Joey the Verizon guy. I'm Joey," and it didn't go over well the first time he did. But he did it again. It's like fine.
Can you do your version of it? What did it sound like, Chris? What did it sound like?
Do your impression. Just try to do an impression of Joey the Verizon guy tonight.
Hey, I'm Joey the Verizon guy.
I like his better.
I like it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, anyways, I decided to fuck with him. Now, here's the thing I want to say. All the people that I know from here, how we got to know each other was we would fuck with each other on stage, and we didn't even know if we were allowed to do that because we felt like this is a comedy club. I don't want to burn a bridge, but we would like joke around. Like if I did a rape joke, they go, "Hey, Josh did it," and then afterwards we would apologize to each other, and we go, "No, I liked it. No, I liked it," and then we realize, okay, cool, we get along. But I was just fucking with him. I wasn't trying to be like a shithead. But he took it personal, I don't, because I was on stage. I could tell. I don't blame him if but because I tried to smile while I was doing it, like, "Hey, I'm fucking with you, like I'm following your bit." And he looked at me like this, and he looked right down, and I was like, and I should have stopped, but I kept doing it. I was like, "I'm Joshy the Sprint guy. We got Joey the Verizon guy. I'm Joshy the Sprint guy. So I'm in a Sprint store. This chick goes, 'Can I gut in front of you?' I go, 'Sure, if I stick my tongue in your ass.' I'm Joshy the Sprint guy. Geez." And he still wasn't laughing. He was just like, you figured he was like at least fake laughing. Okay, he was just.
His act was a Dice impression?
No. But it was just like it was a silly voice. I can't explain it. How would you describe the voice? It was like
his voice is very like Andrew Dice Clay.
It was kind of like Dice, but if he was like, I don't know, a fucking cartoon character, like I'm Joey the Verizon guy. Like
in the beginning it is, and then he turned like Jersey New
York.
Yeah,
like it was kind of like high pitched a little bit, like sweet, like I'm like animated, like I'm Joey the Verizon guy. Yeah. So I did that bit for like maybe 2 minutes. Then I did my shitty set, and I could tell he didn't like it. I could tell he was thinking that was just shitty, And then one of the female comic, Carrie White, had to go over to him, and I could tell she said something like, "Hey, don't take that personal." She said something like that. He wasn't pissed, but I could tell he just wasn't happy with it. And I told people after the fight, I guarantee that guy hates me. But I mean, listen, I'm a dick, I guess. So.
And then, through everybody's sets, he was just on his phone too.
Well, I saw him laugh at a few people's jokes tonight. But I think that
I did that to the one guy that was a mixture. I think somebody said shit. Like the guy that was droll. His first joke was about how he should have been a zombie or on The Walking Dead.
Oh, Chris Kiley. Okay.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah.
All right.
No, he doesn't listen. Go ahead.
No, because I was talking about like Tumblr closing and Backpage. And I was like, and this guy knows what's going on.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I was like, oh, okay.
No, he doesn't.
Just because he looks.
He's been doing it before like I started. So I think he's been doing it for like 10 or 11 years, maybe.
He did a lot of like just one-liners that I liked.
Yeah. Chris Lyle's a funny guy. He advanced in Philly's Funniest years ago. So this is what bothers me about it is he advanced, right? And it's like in the city they got this thing where if you bring people, he didn't bring anybody by the way, but he advanced on a 10 o'clock show. They're like, well, the only reason why he advanced was because it was a 10 o'clock show. Nobody was on. It's like, how is that his fault though? Yeah, he obviously wanted.
He deserves credit for that.
Yeah, he advanced.
Especially how he didn't bring anybody.
There was an audience there, a small audience that voted for him. They go, oh yeah, but then if you bring people, the city was shit on you. You go, yeah, he only brought people. Like this kid I know, he brought 15 people for his first round last year. They're like, oh, he brought people. He brought in the crowd. But then all the comics that advance, they bring in all the comics from the Raven Lounge. So what difference does it make if I bring in 30 people that are my friends from the Raven Lounge that are comics, or if I bring in 30, let's say, Spick relatives? Doesn't really matter. I don't think it does.
Yeah.
All right, everyone's getting tired. Maybe we should wrap this up.
I've never gone through that process. I couldn't speak.
No, it's fine.
Chris to speak on that.
Chris did it once.
So I did it last year. That was my first year. And
did what? What did you do?
Philly's Funniest.
Okay, go ahead.
Cassandra D won.
Yeah.
And the judges, for the rounds that you can't escape anymore, like there's no more anomaly. See, like there's anomaly.
Semifinals.
There's anomaly in the beginning round because, hey, as long as you bring a whole rack of people.
The first 2 rounds are supposed to be audience votes.
Yeah, and then it's just audience votes, which is skewed because if you bring a whole rack of people, then they can push you up.
But I've seen people bring an audience and not advance, though. I think you have to.
Really?
You have to be original, they said. Some people.
Well, that's one of the things. But so in the final round, though, you should hear some of the judges. They were from like one was from like MTV.
I heard that in the finals there were 3 out of 4 female judges.
they were all big time too. Like they were like naming like the credits and everything. So like they were people.
This chick's from MTV's Guy Code. This chick's from MTV's Girl Code.
No, these are legitimate credits. Like one of them was like, "Hey, this is so Lisa so and so from Viceland."
Oh, Lisa.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. But I'm just saying an
Why'd
example.
you do that, John?
People usually know I'm joking, but you're like, wait.
I knew you were joking.
He doesn't know Lisa.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying is that there's people that could really like that can pull some strings for you in the final round. Of Philly's Funniest.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what was your experience like doing it?
It was nerve-wracking. At the time, I was only 6 months into the game. Mm-hmm. It's December now. I'm 1 year in. Is that
1 year in and he's already Me Too'd?
Get you a little dead dog cake.
I will say this though.
Second year in, he'll be on rape charges. Hey, folks.
I will say this though: the Me Too bit and the Thanks Man bit were that good that I actually touched people, and she actually regurgitated on the post. Not just that. A part of this whole comedy thing is what I'm saying on the mic. Supposed to make like you're uncomfortable, right? Like that's what I feel like. That's what this comedy thing should be about. Like if you're saying something, like kind of make me feel uncomfortable. Like I feel uncomfortable. Like, and that's my responsibility as a comic is to make you feel uncomfortable or make you be put in that territory of being uncomfortable and then being okay with it.
Is that like your style? Like you're trying to be edgy in the sense of like make people uncomfortable in a thinking sense or just in like a gross out sense? I didn't see your stuff, so I apologize. So that's why I'm asking you.
I think I think that's just the definition of comedy. Like it's like
because there's some people that it's very surface level and they just make you laugh. Like Jeff Dunham is not going to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's surface level. That's basically, but I'm not doing that. I don't want.
He makes me uncomfortable when he does that terrorist bit. I don't like that. I'm offended by that. Go ahead.
Like, I'm not trying to be the comic that's just trying to, okay, it was just a show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to duke all of you. This is all a show, whatever. This is all an illusion. Right? There's a reason why comedians, magicians, they go hand in hand. Right?
They're both sexual assault predators.
Exactly.
Allegedly. Sorry, that was too
I'm going to get Me Too'd everywhere.
Can you do me a favor? Just move further and further away from the microphone so nobody can get you on. Thanks.
Actually, I got caught looking at my coworker's legs while she was wearing a dress, and she actually moved away. She actually scooted.
Away
from me.
You're done.
Just get a hooker.
I'm done.
Get a hooker already.
I'm done. And I said I tried to do therapy. Did I tell you? I signed up for therapy?
I think you said it. You said it the last one we did. You signed up for therapy.
Yeah, don't look at your therapist's legs, though. They'll make them uncomfortable as well.
Do you want a male or female therapist, sir? A female therapist? I heard that the better ones. My friend told me that female therapists are the better ones.
Can you move closer to the mic, please? If you don't want to be on this anymore, I'll stop it. I mean,
is it going to Me Too me?
No, but he doesn't want to be on this anymore. He's like,
I'm the one that's saying all kinds of crazy shit and made a dog cake reference.
Yeah, well, we have Chris's full name on this, though.
Yeah,
you're
just John.
You're just any white guy named John. They're gonna can't find a white guy named John.
John Doe.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't know what else to talk about. I think we should wrap it up.
Did you?
Go ahead.
This could be another one. But
sure.
Did you see? I talked about Becky Lepper and the Just for Last Fresh Face documentary. Have you seen that?
No,
either of you seen it? It's fucking fantastic. Like I know people that I work with that saw it. That were like, comedy's fucking hard. Just from watching that. Because you're familiar with the Just for Last festival in Montreal. I couldn't remember the city, Montreal. So they show you 7 comedians that are attempting to get on the Fresh Faces. And they show you all the people that have done it, that have completely launched their careers after they've done it. So they show you 4 comedians in LA and 3 in New York. And you just see them for like 2 or 3 weeks before the audition, them just trying stuff and talking about what's going on. And the first episode is the LA comedians. The second episode is the New York comedians. The third one is when they decide, find out if they've done it or not, if they've made it. And then that's the final episode. You actually see their bits, and then afterwards, everybody from Comedy Central to MTV to VH1, for God's sakes, comes up to them and offers them work.
Wow.
So it's crazy. And then I was like, looking it up, and then I was like, get the fuck out of there. And I just see Mecky Lepper like, you can't see me, but I got my hand on my chin like the.
I think I met him once. I think he was hosting once at Go Go Comedy Theater. He brought me up. I met him once. Good for it. Good for him.
He's a nice guy.
I don't know, but he seemed like a decent kid. I mean, I don't know him, but I'm glad. Hey, good for him. I mean, anybody who can get out of Philly. I mean, fuck. I mean, the only guys that I know that made it out of Philly were you brought one up before, John, Big J Okerson. Those guys, they came out of Philly.
Doug Stanhope. No, I'm not.
No, I wish Doug Stanhope. No. Big J Okerson, Kurt Metzger.
Paul Tompkins. I don't know why.
Yeah, Paul Tompkins. But the guys who knew each other, they were all like in a kind of a clique. Kevin Hart, Big J, Kurt Metzger, and Keith Robinson. They would all. They were at the Laugh House, which is a black comedy club. They would drive from Philly to New York and start doing gigs. Keith Robinson knew people in New York. They started getting connections, and then they all just moved. And Joe DeRosa. I don't know if he was doing shows with them at the time, Joe DeRosa. But they all end up making it. They're all headlining guys, and they came out of Philly. But see, they came out of the Laugh House, and then this guy I know who does a failed podcast like me, he said that he was doing rooms like this. All the guys that did rooms like this never made it. The shows, as far as. Like, the only guy I think that did... Some of those guys did the shows here, Keith Robinson, he said they ripped them off because they brought in the crowd, and the guy Scarpati that owns the room here, he owns all the rooms, he didn't want to pay them what they're worth. Like, we brought the whole crowd in and gave them like $20. And they're like, we brought everybody in, we should get the full amount, the door. And he kind of scammed them. But Rich Voss is doing the Bucks County this Saturday. Not to plug him. Well, I already did.
I watched...
Jim and Sam. He was on Jim and Sam today.
Yeah, I watched the... today, roast battles, where it was him, and then it was Jeremiah Watkins, Big J Okerson, Art Shafir, and they're roast battling each other, and he was on that as a judge. So I saw that today. Yeah,
but that's what I said. Like, all those guys, it's kind of cool that they made it, but they were at the Laugh House, and they weren't all doing well. Kurt Metzger, I heard, didn't do well there. They said he had good jokes he could write, but he wasn't doing well. But they made it. They were going from Philly to New York. But they all were at the Laugh House, and then the guys from this room didn't really make it. They became either road comics, you don't hear about them. They do rooms like this, or I don't know, maybe they just blew their brain out one day. Or
do either of you perform in New York? I think that might be.
I did some open mics
more than the Laugh House. It could be New York, is what.
Yeah, I've done. I've only done 2 rooms in New York a few times, and my experience with it is. The good news about it is nobody knows who you are. So just how me and Chris were talking about, we have dirt on our name, not a lot, but let's say some. You go out there and you feel good, nobody knows who I am out here. But the bad news is it's the Mecca, meaning you don't have to support anybody because no one knows each other. There's so many comics. It's some comics walk right out of they're not disrespectful, but we were talking about the 2 comic rule. They walk out, a lot of them just leave right after their set. They're playing with their phones and their notes. It's not supportive at all because there's so many comics, and it's just this is open mic.
Right.
This is so that's the problem with it. And the comic that I was talking to him about, she's trans. She moved from New York to Philly, and I was like, why would you do that? It seems like the opposite. She's like, I was in New York for years. She said, there's no audience there because there's so many comics. She said there's so many shows and so many comics that It sucks, because to bring people, there's no audience. She said there's just too many comics and not enough shows, but here in Philly. But I don't know. I feel like you have to move to... Every professional comic's going to tell you to move to L.A. or New York.
Yeah, L.A., Chicago, New York. But Chicago's more for
Really,
improv.
Chicago?
That's more for improv, actually.
Oh, yeah. Because some of the comics from Chicago were going to this room. I was going to Creek in a Cave. They have, this Chicago showcase night, and they were all there. But.
Have you ever been... Have you been... I've done... The only stand-up in New York, I saw a show that I was doing improv with Upper Assistance Brigade, one of their courses. Mm-hmm. And it was an intensive, so we had people from all over the country.
Do you know Will Fitz?
I don't.
No, Will Fitz, I'm sorry. I was just to cut you off. He is a friend of mine. He's more of an improv guy, and he took classes there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's they make serious money.
Yeah.
This is $400, $500 a course.
That's what he was paying.
And you have 12 people per course, and you have easily 10 courses going on at one time. constantly. It's
Yeah.
extremely good. But I did the intensive, so we had people from all over the country in Toronto, Hawaii, Montana, Wisconsin, Wyoming, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, everywhere. There was a female comedian that came up from Nashville, and after we had a class, I went to go see her at the People's Improv Theater, their women's open mic, and that was pretty cool. That was the first time I've seen stand-up in New York. It was really, really cool.
That's good.
So at Raven, that person told me that too. They moved from New York to Philadelphia because everybody was trying to be a comic over there.
Yeah.
What was that person's name?
And she's actually killing it in this scene. She's getting booked all.
I'll drop her name. I don't care because it's nothing negative. Her name's Tan.
Yeah.
Just eight.
She's very.
I saw that person at the at Fergie's.
Yeah.
She's very nice.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't say I know her, but she's nice to me. I met her a few times here.
Yeah.
She used to come here before. I think a year or two ago.
Yeah, like when I first started and I didn't know any better, and I would just hit city mics. She was always at them.
Yeah.
I think like the second mic I ever went to was Fergie's. She was there.
Yeah, but I find it interesting that someone would do that because like that's the thing I tell you that scares me. That's what scares me. A guy that used to run the Raven before I started. He's in New York. He's been there for like 9 years. And he still goes to the Creek and the Cave open mic. Now, I'm not saying that makes him a fucking loser, but maybe he's passed some rooms because, you pass clubs. Maybe he's gotten work, but he's still doing open mics. So I'm like, this guy's been out here for a long time.
That's what I heard is that if you're in the game for if you're in this game for 5 years, 10 years, you just think that like you should be doing something else.
Yeah, that's what one guy told you.
But like, would you agree with that or no? Like,
well, if I wanted to do something else, I would do something else.
No, but like
it's not working. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, like people think like
that's because some people. I disagree with it
know?
Because some people have the bad tendency to say, "I just want to do this for 2 years and see what happens." Like, you think 2 years? The only person I can think of made it like 2 years is like Nick Swartzen. Nick Swartzen, who's Adam Sandler's friend. You probably seen him in movies.
Yeah.
He blew up real quick. He was in L.A. and he got a Comedy Central special within 2 years. Then I guess those guys, David Spade, found out about him. He started doing stuff with Sandler. He blew up quick. That's like winning the lottery. Very few comics get exposure that quick. There's only very few you can think of.
Yeah.
But some comics are like, yeah, I'll do this for a few years to see what happens. It's like there's supposed to be a 10-year rule. If you do it for 10 years, that means you made it spiritually because you put it. Because you put up with all the bullshit. Getting bumped. Seeing comics you think you're better than pass you, the clicks, comedy club, all this other stuff. So that's why I said it will be 10 years next August, and part of me thinks about quitting comedy.
10 years for you?
Yeah, consecutively. I never took a break because it's embarrassing when I meet new comics. And I don't know why, because in front of you, like, how long are you doing it? 9 years. Like, wow. It's like I'm embarrassed by because it's like I haven't done shit.
Well, I mean.
I feel like,
and this is no disrespect, Josh, but it's just like one or two a week, though, right?
I only do one open mic, but I feel like more open mics isn't the answer. Like, because all it is performing in front of different comics. That's just my experience. Like, I don't know.
We had like a sprinkle of audience tonight.
No, but it's not even about that.
It's been you do 5-minute bits, or have you done like a half-hour thing?
Well, I did a half an hour open mic, but that doesn't count. That's an open mic. But
so what other than open mics? What else are you doing within that 9?
Well, that's why I'm trying to do other things. I feel like in comedy you can't just do stand up anymore. That's why I said I do a prank call show.
Okay.
I do an atheist hotline
Skits.
show. I do music videos. I did a music video. My pubes clogged the drain, which has 35 views right now.
Yeah. It's skits, right?
Yeah, I do skits. I do live streaming.
You're more than welcome to come on my YouTube channel.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you doing on your YouTube channel, John?
It's Hedonist John, which now people will know who I am.
All right.
I eat a lot of things. I drink a lot of things. I do some food reviews. Lately, I got a PS4 for Black Friday, and I've been streaming on that. But other than that, it was a lot of... One video that is more popular is I vomit a rainbow. It's 40 shots of Four Loko in 40 minutes.
Wow.
And so it's a red Loco, a blue Loco, a green Loco, a pinkish Loco, a white Loco, and a black Loco.
Very
and
nice.
I vomit at the very end, and just
cool.
The way it happened, it came out red, and then orange, and then yellow, and then green, and then blue, and then indigo, and then violet, and then black, and then white.
Do they still So they still sell Four Loko, right?
Actually, I think that was Four Loko. I've done juice videos. I had to think for a second. But that one was Four Loko. I've done juice, but that one again was.
And what was it like the old Four Loko versus like when they re-released it?
I did 2 videos where I redid the old recipe, where I took the recipe and made it my own, which would be 20 ounces of malt liquor and then 4 ounces of vodka. And then a caffeine tablet, flavoring, and I think one more thing is the recipe that I redid.
The original formula. This is the original formula.
A version of it, yeah. It was somebody that did Gizmodo wrote down what the recipe would be, and I did that. And then I also compared it to a current logo with the caffeine tablets in it, and it's a fun video.
Now, how many subscribers do you have on your channel?
42.
Oh, that's it? I was surprised because I'm not putting you down because. I feel like the food stuff is really in because I
have to post a lot more. See, I have stuff.
Well, how long have you been doing it, by the way? Your videos?
6 months.
Oh, you're new. But I'm saying that because I follow one guy. I don't know if you heard of Dame Drops. He's a black guy. He records in his car. Fast food. All the stuff that comes out, he tries it out.
Right.
So if the new Taco Bell chicken wrap, he goes there and he has a good personality. You know, he goes, "Hey, what's up, you? Yo, the new Taco Bell wrap. What's up, baby?" And he's got this really cool.
Yeah, sponsors and everything.
Yeah, he makes money.
I think he got big.
YouTube cut off. I think his what's it called? The monetization. But he still makes money off Patreon and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they fly him out to like.
Yeah, he's been on the what's her name? Not Wendy Williams, the other one.
Rachel Ray.
Rachel Ray. He's been on Rachel Ray just for doing food reviews in his car.
I want to go on Wendy Williams one day.
You want to go on Wendy Williams one day?
Yes, that's not a bit.
Yeah.
I am fascinated with the concept of Wendy Williams in a broader.
I liked her better when she was
transcendental.
Is she a female?
That's part of the appeal.
Relatively speaking.
What's going on?
Wait, is she?
I don't know, Chris. I don't know what's. She's married to a guy. I don't know if he likes her dick or.
In college, me and my roommate, we would come back from class and we would sit and watch Wendy Williams. 21-year-old men every day would sit and watch Wendy Williams and giggle about whether or not Wendy Williams was a man or not.
Yes, that's a legitimate question.
Yes. So for that reason, and in his honor, I want to get a Wendy Williams.
It's just because that like jaw bone structure is strong.
And she's built like a brick, even though she lost weight.
She's solid.
Yeah. So, but I was going to say, the funny thing is about YouTube, it's one of those things that if I knew, you jump on the bandwagon late. Like if I knew YouTube was going to be this thing where you could make money and build an audience. The first video I ever put up, I was 20 years old, so this is 12 years ago. I was testing out my digital camera video. So I put it on a chair. I was, I'm going to dry hump my bed for like 30 seconds. So I dry hump it like really fast, doing all this stuff. I put it up there. I started checking like a year or two later. It got up to like 150,000 views. And all these comments of people like, some of them were saying funny stuff. Like, there was a few gay guys like, ooh, look at that booty. And then there's a few girls who were like, oh, I wish she was on top of me. And then a few people making fun of because I had dirty socks on. Like, if I knew that now it's up like 500,000. So if I knew that many people.
Is it still on YouTube?
Yeah, it's called The Dry Hump King. And I did a part.
King? The Dry Hump King?
I call myself the Dry Hump King.
That's the title.
Yeah. I was 20, all right? That's my excuse for
being
being
stupid. And it has 500,000 views.
As of right now. So, pretty much, if I knew, though, that people would be watching it, I did have a dirty pair of socks on it, which was not part of the comedy. That's just a dirt ball. And someone knows that in the video. Yeah. But that was the first video I ever shot. And then, that's it. I haven't got anywhere close to that. But if you would have told me like YouTube was going to be this thing where you could build it out, like I said, I would have been working on it. I stopped making YouTube videos.
Are you going to be doing this next week?
Well, I do this whenever I can have a guest on. If you want to do it anytime.
The reason I bring that up is making a video podcast next week.
I want to do video. I brought my video camera tonight.
Do it.
You know what? I want to do a live. You know what I want to do? I want to do a live stream because I'm paying $95 a month for Verizon just to do live streaming. So I can just bring my selfie stick or whatever, or put it on a tripod, and then we can just go on stage, and then we can do it up there.
Yeah, put it on stage.
And then the great thing is the video is just already up there.
Yeah, might as well put it on Facebook and BCN.
That's through your phone, Verizon you're talking about?
Yeah.
It's a special plan?
No, it's a limited. It's one of those limited. So I was
like, maybe I owe my T-Mobile extra money or Comcast extra money.
Now, I feel stupid because, so here's what happened. I bought a Boost mobile phone because I'm an idiot.
Boost, baby.
Boost is great because it gives you a limited. But I didn't know mobile live streaming is based on a connection, which I didn't realize. So I kept losing connection. So I was like, what the fuck? So I upgraded to the $60 plan. Same thing. Then I was watching YouTube videos and said, you got to have Verizon because Verizon has better service. So I had to buy another phone because Boost Mobile locks you unless you pay a year, right? And then so I bought a Verizon, same phone, the S7. I bought it used, though, to have the SIM card. I got it activated. I was paying $70, but I kept losing connection. So I figured, okay, I need the faster speed. It's only $480. I need $720. So now I'm paying $95 because it's unlimited. You get 22 gigs, unlimited everything, and I'm still losing connection. So it turns out I need a Verizon Jetpack, which is like this little mini. It's called MiFi.
No, what you need is T-Mobile. But go ahead.
I've heard. I did a bunch of research, and according to live streaming, AT&T's number 1, Verizon's number 2, T-Mobile's number 3, Sprint's number 4. However, I'm not saying that's wrong. Most of the IRL streamers, you know what that is in real life? The guys who walk around with their selfie sticks to get in trouble. Sort of the guys from Twitch, they mostly have Verizon. That's why I was like, okay, I want to go to AT&T. I was like, most of them have Verizon.
Oh, you're the Verizon guy.
I'm the Verizon guy. So that's why I went with that.
I looked at Amaranth, who's like a Twitch girl who's attractive, and she said that she streams about 14 hours a day.
Well, this is what pissed me off about Twitch, and I brought this up to him. So the most viewers I ever had on Twitch, I was bombing on there. 0 viewers. One day, I have these Speedo underwears I bought by accident. I never returned them. I wear them for comedy. So me and a Speedo, I'm doing yoga. I put oil on my body, and I'm just trolling. Like, I'm doing yoga. I had like 14 people watching me, right? And then all of a sudden, the stream stops, and I get an email from Twitch. Someone reported you for nudity. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Every day I see Twitch streamers in their bra, sucking on carrots, sucking on cucumbers. Some of them show their, like, not their bare ass, but they're in shorts, bending over. And because I'm a guy and I'm in a Speedo, I'm not naked. You can't see my balls. You can see the outline of certain things, but it's not like anything. So there's a double standard. So I even wrote that. I said, I'm a trans person. I'm offended by this. You're discriminating against me. I have an audience, whatever. And he wrote back and said, look, we're not discriminating against you. There's no nudity or sexual attire. I said, are you kidding me? Sexual attire? There's girls wearing bras every single day. So I did it again, and they gave me a second strike. They said, one more time, or block your channel, which is fine, because you can make another one. But I see Twitch streamers. I watch daily Twitch every day. There's just chicks playing video games in their bra and a bunch of thirsty guys writing them. And I'm like, the double standard. There's a double standard.
Feminism.
I'm in a Speedo, and it's like I'm not showing my asshole or anything. It's like, come on. But once again, I get why. I'm not trying to censor naked chicks. I'm not trying to be a fag here, but come on, everybody. This is for comedy.
Yeah, maybe this is not the thing to do a video because it's a little embarrassing with the whole scenario. But I think another one would be nice to have a video.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that like upsets me, right? In this society is that like just that unfair treatment.
Yeah.
Right? It's only like women are like, and that's the thing. You've heard that Bill Burr bit. It's like women are constantly patting themselves on the back, and guys are not going to say anything because we're trying to fuck them.
Yeah.
That's basically what this is. I don't know how many times, like, I logged into Facebook today. I don't know how many city female comics are constantly oh yeah, I'm 5 years sober, I've been having a drink. And, like, all these people liking it. But it's like, do you think anybody would give a shit if a guy said that?
Well, there's one female comedian I know that posts, and I know her ex-husband had to take her kid away from her because she was a drug addict.
Yeah.
Huh.
But a lot of people don't know that, so it makes me laugh every now and then.
Nobody clap. All right. Sorry, my spirit was in the right place.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
I had one of my things that I didn't use was talking about the people that doxed all these like streamers and Twitch girls and all that sort of stuff because they're not paying their taxes on the money they're making.
Oh yeah, you have to pay taxes.
And
Streamlabs.
Yeah, some girls make $30,000 a month. Like my free cams, which is what I was going to do a whole thing on, but I only wrote a little bit of it. $30,000 a month.
A month. The reason why I try to get the live stream is because there's this guy named Ice Poseidon. He's in California, and if you watch his streams, he's not even that interested. He's an interesting guy, but he's not that interested. And he just walks around, and he just goes to Hollywood Boulevard. He interviews crazy people and stuff, and he records his life. He's making like $15,000 to $30,000 a month. He has to pay tax on it. But if you take tax on it, he's still making a lot of money. More than
30,000.
Just from streaming. He streams every day, but so what? It's like all he does is just put a camera on. And there's a few guys making part-time money, and that's why I try to do streaming. But I realized, like I said, it's based on a connection. So I would have to go buy this router thing for like $150 and pay an extra $30. I'm already paying for 2 phones, this phone and Verizon phone. I'm paying $130 or $40 a month.
Why do you have 2?
Because you need an extra phone. Because if I'm doing a live stream, if you want to, let's say it's going well, and you want to take an Uber or you want to look something up, you would have to stop the stream and interrupt it. So let's say you have an audience, you don't want to stop it. You want it to keep going. But it's I know I'm not ever going to build an audience, but I have 2 phones, and I don't. Nobody texts me except Chris with his fucking Me Too paranoia all day. 80 messages a day. I'm done. I can't do comedy anymore. Relax, Cosby. If Bill Cosby walked into an open mic, everyone would say, "Oh my God, it's Bill Cosby."
Yeah, I was smoking a doobie last night. You're like, "Chris, you there? Hey, you there?" I'm like,
I didn't say. Oh, on the phone. On the phone.
You're like, "Chris, you there?" I'm like,
yeah, because there was these awkward pauses. The first time, I was actually writing my jokes down. I write my jokes every other week, so I had 6 jokes on my phone. I'm writing down. He calls me, and then he stops talking. I was like, "You there?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." And I was like, "Okay." And then I started writing my jokes down. I don't hear anything, so I'm like, "I need to write these jokes down." Then like a minute, he goes, "Yeah, that's the thing that bothers me, man." It's like, and he just starts ranting. I'm like, "Yeah," and I'm trying to write these jokes down. Then I just stop writing so I can hear what he said. And then same thing, I hear pause for like 2 minutes. I'm like, "All right, great. I can write the rest of these jokes down." Same thing. Yeah, man, it's just fucking PC shit, man. It's just fucking ridiculous. And I'm like, "What the fuck is it?" I didn't even ask. I was like, "I don't know if he's beaten off, he's tired, whatever." I don't ask questions. I don't judge. I don't try to change people for who they are.
I think I'm nearing the end of this though, Josh. I think that this case.
Oh, sorry.
I think,
you're my friend.
Asshole. I don't think this case deserves my energy anymore.
How long has this been going on? This whole situation. Like a week.
It really started 2 weeks ago when the W basically told me you do indeed have dirt on your name. So that basically,
it was just one guy that told him that, by the way, right?
Yeah, but the way that they were coming at me, it's almost like they concurred with what he just told me.
Yeah, but it's like, I think when they say dirt, they just mean we talked about you.
We talked about you,
but how do you
not in a high regard?
But not in a high regard. But what's the difference? How do you? The comedians talk shit about other comedians all the time. Different situation. Like if I went into a city open mic and did a rape joke, they would do the same thing. They would say, "Oh, you did a rape joke. That guy shouldn't be doing that."
Yeah, but you didn't rape the person.
Yeah,
I didn't rape anybody.
He did rape somebody.
No, I didn't.
Compliment raped him.
I complimented somebody, and I was called a victim. I mean,
you're not a victim. She was a victim.
She was a victim of being complimented.
She's a victim of PC culture.
How dare you compliment me? And I want to shut you
down. Her mentality is raped. Listen, I think we went too long. This is we should do a video next week, or not the week after. I'm here every Wednesday, folks. So anytime you guys want to do the show, let's go on stage or do a video. It'll be fun. All right.
I'm going to wear sunglasses.
Chris Soriano.
Hide my identity.
Oh, yeah. You look like every other Asian. Sorry. No one's going to find you.
Thanks.
Oh,
I think that's something you have going for you. You can just put on a different
you can blend
hat.
it. I can't. I look like I'm one of the rare big fat Jews you see walking around the city. Apparently,
the rare.
Well, is there a lot of big fat Jews?
There's a lot.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Like that's a whole thing of like the Seth.
But my hair is more black kind of looking, right? Like more African, a little bit of African.
There's a lot.
Look, guys,
this is now in Africa.
Chris Soriano, third appearance on the show. Every time he does this show, I feel like it's bad luck for him. It just keeps his comedy career, his spirit keeps getting worse. You made a mistake. Associate yourself with me. I try to tell you that I'm an outlaw, but.
And now I want to be an outlaw, and I'm trying to take notes.
All right. And John, thanks for doing the show as
Definitely.
well.
It was nice to check it out. I just heard you guys coming in here to do your thing, and I was like, let me just figure out what's going on.
I feel bad whenever this happens. Once in a while, someone goes, "I've never heard a podcast before. Let me hear it." And I'm like, as soon as they hear it, I'm like, my podcast sucks. It's not that good. So they're going to hear it and go, "Wow, that's what podcasts sound like."
Sorry we tainted you, John.
Yeah.
No, I like
practice. This is good practice for you.
It's good conversation.
You do a practice with your friend, you said? You going to start one? Or you?
Somebody that I know from the alternative community, I'll say that.
Ooh.
He's trying to do a podcast, so he reached out to me to help him out.
So you're just going to be doing the audio? And...
writing for it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So behind the scenes, you won't be on the mic at all?
I might be on the mic doing some characters or doing whatever. I'm not sure yet. We had a meeting about it yesterday.
Now, you said your YouTube channel is Hedonist John?
Hedonist John, yes.
Hedonist John.
Hedonist John.
Once I can find out how to spell that, I will subscribe to you, sir.
Hedonist.
Hedonist.
And tonight wasn't your first mic, right, John?
We established
It was
that.
not.
It was
It was
not.
not. What was your first open mic?
Last Wednesday.
Like here.
Yeah.
Oh,
You-
it was. You
are
weren't here
you- are
last
you-
week.
Yes, it was.
Are you
Oh.
based out of the Northeast?
Yeah, I used to live at Comley and Academy, which is right down the street.
Yep.
And now I live right by Lincoln High School.
Are you going to?
I went to
here?
school.
They're definitely going to know who this is now.
I went
Are
to
you
school
going to be
there.
here next week?
Yeah.
I want to hear more than a minute though.
That'll
do.
work.
You had the Evo. I saw the notebook. I was like,
Yeah,
come
now
on.
you got one person to impress, so that's
do.
just now you just do 2 minutes because you want to hear 1 minute. You did 1 minute tonight. Now you're going to do is 2.
I did have a nice thing where I was going to talk about like last night.
Who cares? No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Last night I was looking at my free cams, and I looked at like there's the list, and I didn't know how to phrase it right. And that was what the issue was.
Yeah.
Because there's the list of like popular rooms, and it goes like most popular to least popular. And I looked at the least popular, and it was this old lady just sitting in her sweats, just looking at the webcam, just eating ice cream. Literally,
Now, can they see your chat?
they can see what I write, but not me.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. They can see your chat. Did
Yeah.
you try to talk to her?
No,
I thought it'd be funny.
No,
because I try to do that on Twitch once.
because she
I
blocks.
try to
She
look for
blocked
the
guests.
people like me that have like the least amount of people on Twitch. If you go to the bottom,
Yeah.
there's people like me that have no viewers, and I try to talk to them, and they don't really.
I
Sometimes
was, and she just looked bitter as all fucking. Get
I don't
out.
blame her. I
She's
don't
just
blame
staring at the cat in sweats.
why am I doing
eating
this with my
ice cream.
life?
And she's
Why am I
supposed to be
doing
like
this?
straddling a fucking dildo in her butthole and stuff. She's eating ice cream.
And she was the last. She was the last
The
on the
la-
list.
There was one person watching it, and that was me.
So she had one view.
One viewer, which
You.
was me, and it was 0 until I got to her.
And then how long until you exited?
A little bit,
He jerked
Like
off. He
10
came,
seconds.
and then he got
10
on.
seconds.
like 10 seconds. And she just was. She was bald. She had like Sinead
She's
O'Connor.
bald.
Sinead O'Connor hair.
That means she
Older
hates
lady,
white people.
Like 40s, and it's burnt into my brain.
Mm.
The whole scenario.
Sounds scary.
What do you mean? All of 10 seconds is now burned into your brain?
She was wearing sweats. She was a middle-aged lady. She was bald. She looked like Sinead O'Connor. She was eating ice cream. She's looking right down the camera. Like, I dare you to fucking say something. And she was like that when I got in, and she was like that when I left. So she was just staying like that the whole time. It wasn't that somebody came in the chat room.
And you didn't dare make a peep.
I didn't. No, I was laughing. It was intense. See, this is I was trying to use, and then somebody I worked with was like, "Oh, you should do a bit about saying like it was my neighbor," and I only found out because I could see myself beating my dick in the background, but I didn't know how to phrase it right.
That's all right. Just practice over and over. Practice in the mirror.
I'll tell her she was beautiful.
There you go. Well, listen, we've done a lot of damage here. Thanks to Chris and John for doing the
Thank you.
show. And you can listen to my terrible 1 hour and 20-minute episodes by myself as well. If you guys can get through that, I dare anybody to try to get through a whole hour and 20 minutes of just me.
That should be like a Easter egg sort of a thing. Like have a thing at the very end of your podcast and see if somebody gets to the very end and be like,
There are some people that actually try to put. I put a test in the middle of the episode. One time I was like, if you're listening to this whole thing, I want you to write in the comment section some code word, and some dude actually wrote it. There was like one guy. So once in a while that I do
Yeah.
that. So that does that. But for the most part, I don't blame anybody for not wanting to hear
the code word is stretched anal.
stretched anal.
I checked out a JoshCast or a video of one of your vignettes. You had like a snowman costume on.
Oh yeah. Well, wait a minute. Was that the one I just did, the Atheist Hotline, or you talking about a JoshCast?
I don't know. You were just wearing like a Christmas themed like costume.
Well, I did a roast. I did
snowman.
the roast of Santa they're doing here. I did the first one. That's why I bought that outfit.
Is
I was
that next week or that's
next Saturday.
Saturday.
I did Frosty Ice Clay. I did a character. So obviously I was like Dice, but I was like, hey, I'm Frosty Ice Clay. And it didn't go over that well. I was one of the most of us didn't do well. The only guys that did good that night were Darren, John Rice, who was very hammered. He drank like 8 beers, like 15 shots, so he was hammered. Which for him is not much.
And who? Darren?
Darren did good. John Rice did good. Dan Mahan, who played Santa, did great. And Troy Moore, who runs the tap room, one of the guys, he did great. He was an elf.
He's no longer running the town.
Oh.
Because he moved to North Jersey.
I didn't know that. That's great.
And he's trying to tap into New York.
That's great. So, yeah. So, anyways, once again, we can't promise, but hopefully next week, if not the week after, a video version of this. Of course, a different conversation with Chris and John. Anybody else who wants to be on it. So, thank you for watching, and see you guys. JoshCast.